Welcome to the Hormone Hub, your go-to source for the conversations every woman in her 40s and 50s needs to have. I'm your host, Kylie Pinwill, your nutritionist helping you navigate your way through perimenopause, menopause and beyond so you can say goodbye to endless fatigue, unexplained weight gain, hot flushes, PMS, mood changes, and more that come on this hormonal roller coaster. If you missed the memo or think this is only for women of a certain age, ladies, it's time to think again. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of my latest episodes, which are released every week. Share it with your friends, your sweaty sisters. The more we talk, the more we help each other. Hello and welcome back to the Hormone Hub. It's Kylie here, your host, and I'm really excited today to talk to you about, why we're feeling so tired all the time. I've been there. I know what it's like. So, this is probably the number one complaint I hear from women who are in their 40s, their 50s all the time, and it's their lack of energy. There's no question that as our hormones shift and change, the way our body responds changes dramatically too. So managing my energy levels is something that I'm always really conscious of, and it's built into my daily habits. I need to be looking after myself, looking after my energy, because energy is really precious. If we've got lots of energy, life is good. You can get on and do the things that you need to do and have plenty of energy left over to do the things you enjoy. And so many women I speak with, and I think, women in general have this extraordinary capacity just to push through. We push through, we get done what needs to be done, and then we're dead on the lounge. There's nothing left over. So this isn't living, this is surviving. So, what we want those energy reserves to still be able to do the things you enjoy. So for exercise, for catching up with friends, for wanting to go out, for new hobbies, not just crashing on the couch and snoring through another Netflix series. So if you've got more energy, you're more motivated. If you're more motivated, you're moving more. You're doing more things that light you up, that bring you joy. And also, it's got a knock-on effect of you making better food choices because you feel good. And it's when we're tired and when we can't be bothered, this is where we tend to, go for the easy option. And generally, we're looking for sugary, carby things just to pick us up as well. So can't wait to jump into today's episode. So first up, let's have a look at what we're eating. Okay, so most women I speak with, tell me that they're, eating really healthily or, they're trying to. And for the most part, this is true. We're all intelligent women, right? We all know what healthy eating looks like. So whether or not we do it is a whole other thing. But the key is being consistent. So when we've got this all or nothing approach, it's going to sap our energy and it's also going to mess with our weight as well. So we need to find, the right balance of foods. Okay, so first up, I'm going to start with water. Really, really simple. If you do one thing, ladies, drink more water. Our brain needs water, our cells need water, and even if we're just slightly dehydrated, this can impact our energy levels big time. All right, so we want to be aiming for 2 litres a day. So this can include, straight water. Ideally, it's filtered. It could include mineral water. You can put lemon in it, lime in it, raspberries, cucumber, mint. There's so many ways we can jazz up a glass of water. To stay hydrated, we can include herbal teas. Again, we can have them hot, we can have them cold, over a glass of ice. And for the record, hydration doesn't include coffee and wine. Okay, I see you over there. I know what you're up to. Sorry, that does not count. Okay, so next up, we need fiber. All right, so we need fiber from veggies, from plants, fruits. This gives us so many nutrients. It gives us the vitamins, the minerals, the antioxidants, the phytochemicals that our body needs to be well and stay well. Okay, so the more colors, the better. So go for green, purple, red, orange. Have a look at your next meal. If you're eating a plate of brown food, we need to step it up a notch. Okay, so the next thing, with what to eat to support our energy levels is protein. So we want to have a look at, quality protein. So this can be animal, based, or it can be plant-based. Now, if you're, traditionally low in iron, or if you do follow a plant-based diet, you can still do that in a healthy way. You just need to work a bit harder at making sure you're getting the key nutrients. Things like iron, B12, zinc, they all help support our energy levels. And they all coincidentally come from animal products. Now, if you are, not eating meat for whatever reason, you can, like I said, you can get those nutrients from plants. You do need to be work a bit harder. A good compromise, if you're up for it, is eggs, because you're still getting those nutrients from eggs. Okay, so healthy fats. We were all dragged through the 80s, through the 90s. Fats were bad, blah, blah, blah. But actually, they're not really. What we want to do, if you think of, healthy fats are the fats that occur naturally in nature. So things like avocado, nuts, seeds, olive oils, nut oils, all of those good things. So they're all giving us nutrients. They all occur naturally. Small amounts of, good quality animal fats. I mean, I hear some of the keto nuts, rabbiting on about, I can eat bacon and sausages and not really, think of the quality. So in animal fats, like toxins are stored in the animal fat, okay? So likewise on our body, we store our toxins in our fat. So if we're loading up on animal fat, we want to make sure that that animal is either ideally organic or at very least free range. We want to make sure that we're just not consuming the fats from, animals that are storing their toxins. Okay, and that's what they forget to tell you over in keto land. All right, so the next, for your energy is we want to make sure you're eating the right kind of carbs. So if you're feeling tired, if you're feeling exhausted, if you've got any kind of adrenal or thyroid issue going on, you do need to eat carbs. But they do need to be the right kind, okay? So we ideally want them from plants, not from packets, okay? So plant-based carbs are things like your sweet potato, your potato, for the love of all things potato. It's what's wrong with the potato, poor little guys? They're perfect portion-sized nuggets of goodness. Go for the potatoes, ladies. Brown rice, quinoa, you've got to find what works for you, but there's nothing wrong with those type of carbs. Where we come unstuck is the packet-based carbs. So if you think of things like breads, pastas, biscuits, sugars, things that are kind of so far from its natural source, they're the carbs that we don't need, okay? So if we think of protein and fats together as like the anchor for our blood sugar, it's going to stop those sugar highs, those sugar lows. It's going to, help stop those cravings, because when our blood sugar's stable, our energy levels are more stable, and so are our, moods as well. So it's going to stop that up and down. And ladies, if you're not including protein at breakfast, you need to up your game. All right. So think of, so many women I speak to don't eat breakfast. So if you're low in energy, I want you to think about how can you start eating breakfast? Okay. So think of including, eggs, great start, smoked salmon, chia puddings, nuts and seeds on top of your porridge or on top of your, fruit and yogurt. Yogurt, natural, Greek, full-fat yogurt is perfect. Okay, so now that we've kind of covered the basics, this sort of brings me to, the concept of fasting and whether or not you're actually eating enough. So you're going to hear me come back to this time and time again. The old chestnut of, eat less, exercise more to lose weight. Okay, let me tell you, that went out with your straight leg jeans from the 90s. Girls, time to let it go. It is doing you more harm than good. Okay, so many women I speak to, skip breakfast. Now, there are a lot of benefits of fasting, but one thing I want you to know is all of the research that's been done on fasting is done on men, okay? So men have a very different hormonal structure to women, okay? We are not small men. We are entirely different, more complex beings, okay? So when we're fasting in the morning, or we're only having coffee, this is going to increase our stress response. It's going to tell our body to store fat because our body thinks that we're under threat. And this is why fasting for so many women backfires. Okay, there are smarter ways for women to get the benefits of fasting, and that's a whole other future podcast. So, but right for now, let me tell you that skipping breakfast and only surviving on coffee until lunch is not the answer. Okay, so like I said, coffee sort of sets off our stress response. It fires off our adrenaline, and in women, our cortisol levels, which is our other stress hormone, is highest first thing in the morning. So if we're not eating breakfast and we're only having coffee, it's like throwing petrol on a fire. We've got that high stress response. We're throwing, more stimulants at it, and, we're sort of like surviving. That's all our body's got to fuel itself on until lunchtime. So when I work with ladies inside the Well Balanced Woman program, without fail, every single time we introduce a balanced breakfast, we see massive improvements in their energy levels, and over time, also that weight loss or a change in their body composition. And, some of these ladies haven't eaten breakfast for 20 years, okay? So it doesn't have to be a huge quantity of food, or it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. A bowl of yogurt with a piece of fruit and a handful of nuts, but it makes an enormous difference to the way your body responds to stress and, your energy levels. Okay, so if you're feeling tired, I want you to check in with, where you're at. What are you eating? And, ask yourself, is it balanced? You're like all of those elements that I just talked about, your fiber, your protein, your fat, your carbs. Are you getting that balance there? And are you eating enough? All right. So remember, ladies, food before coffee, always. All right. And the other thing is, are we actually eating enough food through the day? All right. So many of us who were, introduced to dieting in the 80s and 90s, we were told to eat less, restrict our calories, eat 1,200 calories a day. All right. Let me tell you, you just aren't eating enough. So it is no wonder that you're tired. Okay. So check in with your meals. Make sure every meal, are you having fruit and veggies? Are you having protein? Are you having healthy fats, at breakfast and lunch and dinner? This Hormone Hub episode is sponsored by my Weight Loss Wisdom program. Weight Loss Wisdom is an effective, rapid, fast weight loss program designed to help you shift stubborn body fat, lose unwanted kilos, and most importantly, give you a proven system to keep it off. No more yo-yo dieting on my watch. Specifically created for women in their 40s and 50s who are going through perimenopause and menopause, we target hormonal weight gain so you'll feel happier in your own skin and give you the confidence to walk back into your wardrobe and know your clothes are going to feel great. You don't have to do this alone. You're supported every step of the way with our team of qualified nutritionists. The link with all the details is over in our show notes, or you can find it at kyliepinwell.com/weight loss wisdom. Okay, so the next thing I want to cover, if you're low in energy, I need you to move your body. Okay, so this might sound counterintuitive, but if you're feeling flat and tired, you need to move, all right? So this could be as little, if you're not used to exercise or you've been doing nothing for a while, it could be a 10-minute walk around the block. And if you're having an afternoon slump, it could be, something like stretching, getting up, moving your body, stretching out your arms and your legs. It could be Pilates, it could be yoga, it could be walking, it could be swimming. There's so many online options that you've really got no excuse. Okay, so the type of exercise that you do doesn't really matter. The best exercise is the one that you actually do and do it regularly. Okay, so on a daily basis, you've got to move your body for at least half an hour, So when we move our body, it gets our blood flowing, it gets oxygen into our cells, it releases our happy, good, feel-good endorphins. If you're, one of my constipated ladies, it helps get your digestive system moving. If you're bloated, it helps food move through your body. Okay, so if you can spend 10 minutes on the couch scrolling through social media, and we are all guilty of that, we can definitely afford to spend 10 to 20 minutes a day outside walking. All right. So I highly encourage you to pop your headphones on and, listen to me, listen to the podcast. Okay. What else? What more could you want? You'll thank me later. All right. So check in after you've been for a walk. Check in with how it makes you feel. It's the right kind of movement if you're feeling energized afterwards. Okay. So I get asked all the time, do I need to do boot camp? Do I need to do high intensity? And you know what? If this high intensity boot camp type of exercise, first thing in the morning, leaves you feeling on top of the world for the rest of the day, fantastic. It's great. There is absolutely nothing wrong with, those type of workouts. Personally, love it. But if you're doing it, if you're pushing yourself through and it leaves you exhausted and needing a nana nap later on in the day, and actually, can we just rename the nana nap a glamour nap? Because sometimes, who doesn't need a glamour nap, right? But, if you're crashing on the couch, it's not the right exercise for you, for your body right now. Okay, so give yourself a break. Take a few weeks off. Give your body a chance to rest and recharge. Okay, so it doesn't mean that your boot camp days are done. It just means that, you might need a break or drop it back to 1 to 2 high intensity sessions a week. You don't have to make every session a go hard, go home kind of session. So if our energy isn't great, don't push through if it's going to deplete you and leave you feeling exhausted. Okay, so when it comes to exercise, listen to your body, move your body on a daily basis, but move it in a way that leaves you feeling energized and restored, not exhausted and depleted. Okay. And now if exercise isn't your thing, I want you to reframe it. Okay. So instead of exercise, because for a lot of women, there's just this automatic, no, don't do that. Let's reframe it. Let's call it movement. Okay. I want you to move your body. So if all you can manage right now is to lie on the floor and stretch, then do that. Just move it and feel it and stretch, feel your muscles. Okay. So the key thing to remember is our 40, 50 plus year old body responds very differently to, the way it did in our 20s and 30s. Okay. So just because something is popular and trendy right now, it's, popping up in your Facebook feed, left, right, and center, doesn't mean it's the right thing for you. So I encourage you to nourish your body, listen to what it's trying to tell you, and to move it. All right. So just to sort of circle back, if your energy is good, everything is better. Okay. So fatigue is, something, like I said, it's the number one thing I hear from women, and often it's the easiest thing to improve. If we have more energy, we feel more motivated, we move more, we make better food choices, our digestion is better, and on it goes. So 3 simple things to check in with. So 1, have a look at how you're nourishing your body. Are you eating a good variety of colours, including protein, fats, and start with number 1, more water, okay? Next thing, are you fueling your body with enough food? Okay, so think of it this way. You can't jump in your car and drive from Sydney to Melbourne on an empty tank and go, no, you know what? It's okay. I'm not going to fill up the car until I get to Canberra. All right, so how's that going to work? All right, it doesn't. You need to fuel your body to get it to do the things you want to do. Okay, so stop these long fasts if you're tired. And number 3, move your body. So any way that feels good and leaves you feeling good, not exhausted afterwards. Okay, so today I've given you a few simple steps you can take to turn your energy around and why it goes against what a lot of the popular diets are doing. Big hint here, ladies, diets don't work. All right, so I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Can't wait to talk to you next week. Thank you for taking the time to listen today. You can head on over to the show notes at kyliepinwell.com kyliepinwell.com/podcast, where you'll find all the links and I have a little bonus surprise waiting for you. Before we go, it would mean the world to me if you head on over to your favourite podcasts channel, subscribe and leave a review. Make sure to screenshot it, DM it to me so I can thank you personally. Then stay tuned for next week's episode. Can't wait to see you there.